Hi, welcome to my next video in the Let Go, Let Flow series for easy, quick voice warm-ups. And some of these things that we're doing have no vocalizers. So in other words, we're not singing scales or making a lot of sound. We're doing stuff with our body first to release the voice. And that's what makes me unique among voice teachers is I'm very body-centered, and it really gets you some fast results because look at reality. Our voice lives in our body. So how could what we do with our body not affect our voice? It all works together. So my name is Ronni Sarrett. My websites are vocalfocus.com and my newest one, voice-movement.com. And I'm really excited to be here on YouTube with all you guys, and I'm just so glad you tuned in today. So let's get started with what we're going to talk about today, which is face tension and shoulder tension and how that influences your voice. And if you think about it, we use our face to communicate all day long, non-verbally, with, expressions. We smile, we blow, we open our mouths, and this affects our voice. When you do some face movements, you will feel some tension, especially here in where the larynx is. You may feel in the throat, and you also may feel in the very back of your tongue. And if you swallow for a second, that's the back of the tongue, and you'll notice when you swallow, the back of the tongue gets tight to move the food down, and the larynx gets tight. That's all about, swallowing, which is a biological function that we can't avoid. Those muscles are right in our voice or around our voice, and those need to be released when we use our voice. And they can get in the way without training. So that's where all this work comes in. So the tongue does a direct hit on the larynx. The back of the tongue, if you feel your larynx here and you swallow, you feel that larynx really move, there's a direct hit between the back of the tongue and the larynx, anatomically connected by a membrane. And so whatever the back of the tongue doing is going to influence this. And we really want to get that back of the tongue eventually not getting involved in the voice and being loose and being free. And it's one of the biggest areas of tension that we can have that I think I alluded to in my last video. So we don't even realize that these tensions exist all day long as we're speaking, as we're living our lives around other people. This stuff, the face, is such a big carrier of tension. So no one talks about this, and it's real. Believe me. So what I want you to do now is just sort of relax. And I want you to kind of make a funny face. I want you to purse your lips forward away from your teeth and pucker and notice how the back of your tongue feels. And also notice area here. Does it affect it? Now, for me, the back of my tongue gets solid like a rock when I do that. It gets so tight, and I feel a narrowing or a constriction here. A great exercise to do after you do that is to try to do that while releasing, while feeling a little more released, especially the back of your tongue. So try that again and just think, I'm not going to let the back of my tongue go along for the ride, because I mentioned muscles relax together. Muscles also tense together, and when you're tensing your mouth, you are bringing the tongue, most of us, I'd say 99% of us, bring the root of the tongue or the back of the tongue along for the ride of tension. So we're just going to try that again and think soft, big, spongy tongue while you do this. Okay, so now think wide throat. And you may find, if you do that, that your voice will warm up just from that one thing. There's so much to do. Now, another thing we can do is what I call the face hang. This is to relax the face and then try this again. If that was hard for you, this probably will help you. So this one's really, really wacky. I made it up. I take full credit for my own wackiness. But this one, you kind of bend down your head. And what you do is you think of instead of thinking of a person, think of yourself as an inanimate object, and you are letting the flesh the skin, the muscles, everything that's there in your face fall away from gravity passively, hang away from your bones. So you are a thing, zap, and we're going to go like this. I take my glasses off and loosen my neck, and I'm just going to think heavy face, dropping towards the floor. No muscles are contracting when I do this. And now take a breath. That breath felt nice and deep. And come up, find that same breath. I always do a mouth breath, and you'll find you have more breath just by doing that. Now try this again, keeping the tongue loose. And the throat wide, and lo and behold, we were able to release some of these muscles from influencing each other so much, which is really what a singer and a speaker, a public speaker, needs. It's really important stuff. Another thing you can do is the teeth clench. Super tight, right? Back of the tongue. Now, relax that. And now to clench and try not to relax, not to tense the back of your tongue. Pretty cool. I could do it. You may not release completely, but it'll be a little bit less tense. And that's what we're looking for. Always little increments. Fantastic. Open your mouth big. Notice how tight the back of your tongue probably got from that. And now do it again. And this time I just said to myself, my tongue could be a little looser while I do that. It's never about doing, the whole thing perfectly. It's about just getting a little looser. So you have to go easy on yourself. It's a process of letting go. I feel like, oh my God, my voice just warmed up just by doing this. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so now we're going to shrug our shoulders. Can we do that with a loose tongue? This is a cool thing. Just stand up. And then loosen up. Don't let standing up tighten you either in the tongue, in the jaw, even in the throat. Keep that loose. Okay, now this is a really cool one I just came up with. I want you to tighten your shoulders up against your body and notice how tight you feel. And I want you to take a breath in this position. Now for me, breath was super shallow, and that's because the throat started to close with my shoulders. Who would think that shoulders have that big an influence on breath flow and voice? Now I want you to relax your shoulders, keep them wide without pushing them out. Okay, you're just kind of like a jelly person, right? But they're not up against you. And breathe. I think I had 20 times the amount of breath, and it felt so good, right? So you can immediately feel, hey, what I'm doing with my body totally affects my throat. So anyway, the open throat equals easy power and resonance. The open throat means breath flow in a spacious body. Can't say that enough. So guys, continue to let go and let it flow. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned anything and you liked it, smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you again soon.